Hello, welcome back. Today we have a special request, The Genius of Jodyhighroller, Part 2. Clearly there was some other fans of Mr. Jody, Mr. High Roller, if you will. And yeah, I guess people dig this, and I don't really know if I could do this for another artist. I don't think I really would, but for me anyway, I'm just capable of drawing in these mostly also older songs of Riff Raff, and this was part of my journey. This was some of the lessons that I was able to draw from his stuff, from his work, and kind of his journey as well, right? So that sort of is uh, part of this, why I feel like I can do this, or why I feel like I should do this, or whatever. Yeah, man. So I'll just go ahead and bang off a few more, and see if we can draw some more lessons from the man, the myth, the legend, fucking Jody Three Moons, Jodyhighroller, aka Party McCarty, aka fucking rap game Garth Brooks. Okay, here we go. The song is called "Let Me Drive." I think a little older. Hmm. I'm in the four-star Porsche. Let me go and got some ice. I done been in losing fights. Let me stand in the spotlight. I've done been in losing fights. I can relate. Again, when I was listening to this, especially this was a couple of years ago. This was probably now like 4 years ago, and I was in a period of like deep like introspection and like transformation in my own right. And I was really attempting to come to grips with like the nature of fucking reality and like what even is going on here. I was really having like a total like disconnection from the mainstream society. So that's why I was like dialed in and connecting with all this stuff, because I saw this guy with the fucking hair and the gold and all this shit, and he was so clearly standing out. Clearly, he was willing to, key point here, polarization down the middle, right? Be willing to polarize. You have to, and that's part of the game. And I saw how he was just hammering home on that. I was loving it. I was like, that's cool. But I knew that there was a reason for that. I was like, he isn't just doing that at random. He's purposely drawing on all of his experiences, and he's willing to polarize because it's actually necessary. So he done been in losing fights, yo. What else are you going to do? At some point in life, I think you have to come to this grip and say, you can't keep doing what you're fucking doing in the past. What are you going to do? Life's going to beat you up and stuff. You may as well be who you want to be. That's why I rock at night. Why I rock at night. So I think, and actually I'm into that now. I'm into that phase now where it's like, at times I'm like, get frustrated and I'm like, fuck, what can I do? What can I do? But it's like, I done seeing the shit, like, had losing fights with life. That's why I rock at night, as he says, because he goes out and he hammers hard. He runs it hard at night. Got so much rice. And I bring up so much rice. Yeah. Yeah, man. Again, I think probably, maybe even when Riff was younger too, he, maybe like me, one of my main flaws, and I accept this, is I'm too nice. I know that. I'm too nice, but it's part of me. And I have to find a way to come to terms with that, right? I understand it. It is like a task of mine to deal with that niceness and find a way to make that work. It's not a bad thing, but it's something I have to accommodate. And as he says, I was born to be nice. He's like, but I was born to be nice. But I guess even for him, he's coming to terms with, that's great, but a lack of niceness pays large dividends, unfortunately, in our society, and particularly, very unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, particularly when it comes to success with women. And that's something that you have to balance and come to terms with for yourself. I think that's what he's talking about. It's like, but I'm born to be nice, but I want to be nice. But you see how often niceness does not pay dividends. And you have to find out, well, how am I willing to behave that I'm comfortable with, but still gives me the results that I want. And it's, everyone comes to this. It's a real thing. It's something to think about. I know I can't change. I proceed to stack change. Boom. I know I can't change, but I proceed to stack change. That's cool, man. I like that. Yeah. I know I can't change. It's like I can't change the inherent. I mean, I can do what I can to, as he says, stack change, whether that's metaphorical change or literally fucking money. But you have to see that there's a component, and I can relate with this, there's a component of me that is inherently nice. And I think we all have this. We all do. We all have an inherent, like, kindness and understanding. But for me, I had that a lot, and I still do. And I don't want to extinguish that because that's no longer congruent. I want to be congruent. But I have to find a way to accommodate that. And so maybe part of what his game plan was is like, yo, I can't change this inherent kindness and this inherent, like, he loves this, like, having fun. He talks about it all the time. So it's like, for him, maybe to offset that was, I'm just going to proceed to stack up fucking money. Just money, diamonds, gold, as a way to offset that inherent niceness. That's sort of the vibe I was getting. Airport security got me flying private plane. Drop top, gold wings on the lava lamp frame. I done switched so many lanes. I got my 5011 names. I done switched so many names. I got about 5011 names. It's fucking crazy, Yeah, like, you try to reinvent yourself, and it's like, sometimes you switch, as he says, so many lanes. Like, you switch from this to this, and you're trying to make something stick. You get some, like, and it can be hard to stick with something and to remain dedicated and disciplined, and especially when you have, like, an inherent, like, pain that you're carrying with you. I know that, like, it's fucked, and it's like, you try to switch things. You're like, I'm gonna fucking do this. I'm gonna do it. Like, my name now is, like, Riff Raff, and then it gets fucked. You're like, fuck, now I'm Jodyhighroller. Now I'm fucking Party McCarty. Like, it's tough, man, but, over time, and that's what's so great about Jody's shit, is, like, it did pay off for him. At least in, like, success and money-wise and stuff. It's like, it's cool. My name rings bells. My pockets on swell. Push the V12 while I'm eating lobster tail. My name rings bells. My pockets on swell. I like that. I like that right there. I'm eating while I'm feasting. Besides the shoes sweet. And I'm just, like, I'm eating while I'm feasting. It's like, he's really railing in with these affirmations of, like, I'm eating. I'm eating. Like, I'm going to be successful. I love it. It's just the force of will. The force of will. And that's what I took back in the day when I was hearing this stuff, was just his force of will to maintain and to go ahead with this fucking riff-raff Jodyhighroller character with the fucking braids and everything. Out of control. I need a vacation while we're speaking. An 80-day weekend. Oh, I need a vacation while we're speaking. Yo. 100%. 100%. That's what it's like to speak to the average person. It's like someone's going to come to, like, Jody and start trying to tell him all about what you should do. You shouldn't wear so many diamonds. You should get a regular job. You should cut your hair. You should marry that girl. It's like, I need a vacation while we're speaking. I can't, you're fucking stressing me out. Your mind's so small. You're so warped. You're so broken. You're so lost. What it's going to, and this is, I think, where he's coming from, is like, what it's going to take for me to engage with you is exhausting. You're so fucking lost. Why would Jody listen to some fucking idiot telling him how to behave? The guy's worth fucking millions. He got diamonds everywhere. He's like, I need a vacation just from speaking with you. Boom. I love it. Oh, a lot of tears done seeing these eyes, stayed awake and watched me cry. Fuck, I forgot about this song, man. Let Me Drive, yo. This is a song right here. Fuck, like, it was a while ago that I was listening to this stuff, but man, I was relating to this. Like, it was just And the fact that he still was like with the diamonds and the success and the women and everything, and he's like all the tears and done seen me cry, and it's like fucking hell. Like I know what that's like, man. And even as he says, like I was born to be nice. Like I had these tears. Like that's who I am. But it's like so brutal to come to terms with like people don't even care. Like they don't care. They won't. They don't want to like accommodate that. And it's like what the fuck? Like you have no idea. But people don't give a shit. So he's just like, okay, good, diamonds and gold. How about that? Yeah, you like it? It's like, and then so it's funny. It's funny. Maybe that all is it. It's a big. He likes to be funny, so it is funny. Better yet, just let me hide. Now stand back and watch me fly. Better yet, just let me hide. Stand back and watch me fly. That's some cool shit, man. He was on there deep with this song. Better yet, just let me hide, man. Let me hide. Stand back and let me fly out of here. It's like, you fucking haters. Like, the haters the guy must have faced is enormous. That's what you get, especially being polarizing as he is. Oh, man, again, you the one inside, just hold the wheel and let me drive. Like, again, and just in my opinion, it's from, I see this all as speaking to like the inner, like trying to like reparent yourself, which is all part of like deep hardcore inner work. Like probably in like NLP they talk about that. I don't really know that much about NLP, but I think he dipped into some of that. But yeah, man, like fuck, like the trust and the faith that it takes. Fuck, when you betray that like child inside, and then you have to like give it, make it trust again. Like it's fucked. And he's like, just let me fucking drive. Just let me drive. Just please let me drive. And it's hard to trust, man. Just let me drive. Just let me go inside. Just hold me, just let me drive. Dope. That's cool. This one's Neon Freedom. This is a cool song, cool video and stuff. I'm not sure if there's lessons in here. Let's find out. It's cool. I like the chorus and everything. I don't know if I covered this last time. Maybe I did, but anyway, I just heard something cool there. Try not to ride the whole spectrum. Fuck. It's like there's so much like a spectrum of like emotions that you can go through. And it's like to try to balance that out and remain stable is so fucking hard, especially for someone, you know, I guess if I'm relating myself to Jody here, which I must feel some affinity for his fucking work. I know I have this, man, but it's like hard to not ride the whole spectrum of like, fuck you. It's like you get high in life and then you crash to the bottom, and it's hard not to just, it's hard to balance that out. Didn't you say it's like, get that negativity away from me because you're fucking me up. Like I can't be having those vibes around me. I'm trying to maintain this fucking roller coaster, and you're putting negativity on me. No wonder he gets fucking pissed during interviews and shit, where he's like, get that shit away from me. I need a vacation speaking to you. Your shit's all fucked up. You're putting it near me. It's a fucking bill. It's a fucking $1,000 if you want to speak to me. That's why, you know, man, that's how people get. Yeah, diamonds give off reflection, bad for your protection. Who knows? Yeah, 40 days. He's got this like long cycle. I'm not sure when he was. all the drugs and the booze and the cycle of he was probably out for nights and nights on end, running. Who knows, man? The eye, make the sun hot and bad guys, summer soaks, untamed the details, neon smell on females, heart on cloud nine, pouring bricks in the beneath us. Neon smells on them females. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. They do have like a certain, like some, you've got some hot girls in the video here. It's like some hot young girls have a certain vibe to them that's like, my God, this is worth it. Like, this makes life worth it, and that's what you want. Like, so it's like if you're growing, even if you're growing older, like I'm in my 30s, but it's like I don't give a shit about like vibes that aren't that, right? As he's talking about neon smell on females. So if it's like if it's a girl who's not got that, as he calls it, neon smell, I guess it's like I don't care about that. If you're like a girl who has a fucked up attitude, or like you're trying to like make me like fit into your thing, like what do? How much money are you gonna? You have to marry me, you have to it's like I don't want to hear that. Like I don't fucking care about that. And I like how he said that. Like he wants those neon smells, yo. Couple stocks out of Palestine. Did a couple favors, you don't owe me. Saw through the falcon lights and did a couple favors you don't owe me, stacking up bricks out of Palestine. I'm not sure what all that stuff is. 8 days out the week I'm in the major league. Oh, 8 days out the week I'm in the major leagues. He goes hard. He obviously went hard, and he was out there hustling for, immersed himself probably in like learning game, or even just rapping or balling or making money or whatever he was doing. It was a period of deep immersion, which is kind of necessary. And that's why guys don't stick with things. They give up because they don't go through a period of deep immersion. It's hard to do that if you're not like, you're going to go get immersed in like university or something, or immersed in like the fucking army. Like, but if you're not going to do those, you have to immerse yourself in something. Yeah, the fucking game is tough, man. Wash your heart off in the kitchen sink. It's like, this shit's brutal. You get beat down and broken, and no one seems to care. And you're in there at the kitchen sink washing off your fucking heart. It's like the girls are cruel at times, man. They don't understand. They don't grasp what it's like. They don't understand the magnitude of how a guy's emotions works, and how fragile it can be, and how much they're affected by things. And you have to just take that and be like, fuck, like I have to just wash this shit off in the kitchen fucking sink and get back to work. I'm sure there's plenty of stories out there. I'm sure guys could I'm sure any guy who's gone hard building his game could relate with that story of like, man, fuck, like you're out there hustling hard, and you know, sometimes a girl can just trash you, and no one's really, it's like the Wild West out there. You have to just wash the shit off and go back hustling. And it's like, sometimes like months can go by, and you're still carrying that with you. Like, shit, man. 5 out the gate, I'm at the dry cleaners. Other side of Mississippi, about to buy the ocean. Lamb chops over rice. On an icon boat, inside my mind, kaleidoscope. There are a lot of colors. Color has something to do with it. Inside my mind, kaleidoscope, yeah. Because you can see the multiple colors of the dimensions and shit. Again, I don't know, he's probably obviously dipped in with like the plant medicine realm to some degree. Okay, that was cool. Up next, check this song out. Check this song out right here. This is rare. Let me see how many views this has. How many views does this have? 723. Wow. This song right here is legendary. It's called Gucci Ghost Freestyle. And it's on a YouTube channel called Mizzle420. And that guy has 585 subscribers. This is obscure as it gets. But just listen to this, man. This has some incredible rap. Incredible rhymes in here. Just listen. Oh my God, there's so much going on here. I don't rock that. Sterling Chain. Shop at Mervin's. That's like some shitty department store. I beg your pardon, Aston Martin. That's cool. That's an aspect of like old school game of just rolling up and being like, "Excuse me, what's the time?" Like in a fucking Aston Martin. Can you imagine some guy draped in diamonds rolls up? It's cool. Like he's painting a picture. I mean, I love it. Like that's part of why I was drawn to it because I saw how he was putting pieces of all these different aspects of life which are outside the realm of mainstream society. And he was just like putting them to fuck together on the run, like components of like it's self hypnosis, like psychedelic medicine, like learning game, like fucking rap, making money, how like male female dynamics worked, how to collaborate with people, like how the fucking internet works. Like he was just like it's like years ago he was just like texting people up being like, yo, let's collaborate, like let's make a video, all outside the realm of like the mainstream. It's fucking crazy, man. I love it. And I probably won't get into another like music really to this degree anytime in the near future. Maybe not even again. I don't know. It's not like my passionate thing. This for me was like an experience that I had, a learning experience while I was trying to come to grips with stuff, as I mentioned before. But it's fucking crazy. Well, you were on the bench, I remain a starter. You're on the bench, bro. I'm a starter. Fucking A. I am not your father. I go 10 times harder. What the fuck? It's true though, man. Like people could say that. Like, well, my dad said this. My dad did that. That's great. I hope he did. Like, I hope your dad was a great guy. Like, my dad did the best he could. Like, I'm sure many did. But he's like, I go 10 times harder. Like, I'm going to the top. Like, I'm making this happen in this life now. This is my chance. I'm doing it. You can't stop me. Enough people told me I can't do it. I go 10 times harder. Further and farther. Listen to this. When they jot down my stats, they jot down your stats. They use Gucci markers. Now this line right here. Okay, your mom's on suspension. Boom, laying it down. That right there. That is some ancient shit. Your mom's on suspension. I think I heard that from someone way back in the day. That's like you're talking to some girl and her mom's calling her, being like, "You have to be home, da da da. You're not allowed to be out with that guy. He's bad. He has fucking diamond rings and stuff." And he's just laying it down for him, being like, "Listen, girl, your mom is being inappropriate. And she's on suspension right now, right? You want to hang out with me? Your mom is on suspension. Her game's all fucked up. I'm not a part of that. I'm not being a part of that. I don't give a shit what your fucking mom's problem is. Go hang with her if you want to. But you're hanging with me right now. So your mom's behavior is inappropriate. She's on suspension. You're hanging with me." Old school fucking game. Laying it down, ref. Pull up at a rave gave Garth Brooks a taper fade. It's just, I love it. How he seemed to put his style together by mixing Garth Brooks with a taper fade. It's fucking crazy. Mind frame's not the same, clearly. It's like, my shit's different. Round up cattle, settle out west like John Wayne. Sometimes you just gotta grab a hold of a hero and be like, I'm gonna do like they do. I don't know what else to do. John Wayne. I'm gonna settle out west like John Wayne. Motherfuck. Dope. This next one, again, this next song is literally, holy shit, it has 124,000 views. And this is from the album Sour and Gunpowder from 2012. Well, it's actually got a lot of views, so whatever. People must like it. It's called Freestyle Dentist. I love it. You want to diss me? You're done. Throw you like a frisbee. Grind like a grizzly. My host Walt Disney, like he's creating his own realm, like he's creating his own world. Like my host is Walt Disney. I've got cool shit in there. I've got shit I like that makes me happy. That's what I want. Because when the world is chaos, you have to find a way to put the pieces together for yourself. It's a bullshit, y'all light up the whip with an extended clip. Got me on surveillance, still sitting low, throwing through the night with a pack full of dope, moving like snow, change like the weather. Change like the weather, it's true. Relating yourself to something larger, something deeper than yourself, the weather. I change like the weather. It's not my fault. My shit's fucked up. Maybe I'm in chaos. Well, you know what? The weather is like chaos. I'm part of that. I'm doing my best to get my shit together. Captain Planet. He must have had a Captain Planet sweater. The guy went wild in style. Ooh, wait. Yeah, watch what you say around them females. Again, you see, he was learning the lessons. It's like you didn't grow. The average guy, as it says, I think it says on the back of the game by Neil Strauss when he wrote that. It says on the back, like on the playground, when the boys were playing soccer and pushing each other into the fucking mud, the girls were talking. They were learning shit. They were figuring out how to interact properly. They were building their game, whatever. That's a whole other topic of why they should probably learn what really would be beneficial in male-female dynamics. But anyway, their version of it, they were learning that as kids. And so for the guy, as he probably realized in brutal circumstances, as I did, as a lot of guys have, you know, you gotta, like, you're just saying shit and doing shit, and they're like taking it and picking it apart. It's deadly, so watch what you say. Yeah. I bought like an elk. Yeah, like some kind of animal. I do it by myself. Yo, I relate. I go solo. One deep, all those gon' creep, jumping out the Jeep with a slab on sleep, let it on sleep mode, gas tank full. In this game, could've played Chicago Bulls. Joint, I do a couple things, then I let it rain. Let the nine sing, let the money bring. I'ma bring the rice, shoot like Mark Price. I'ma shake the dice, do that shit, swung up him like a dime. I only pull dimes, bitch. If you a nine, can't get in my car. I only pull dimes, bitch. If you a nine, you can't get in my car. Yeah, well, he's setting up the boundaries, which is true, and he's like, he was setting them high, like he was just setting like not dimes only, and there's something to be said to that, for that, and for his game, the way he's got things going on, it actually probably did make sense. For the average guy, I wouldn't really recommend that because it's like, that's not how I would do it. I would try to start yourself small and get reference experiences early and grow from there with the plan that you eventually will be a dime yourself, so you will be attracting dimes. But for him, he was going hard from the beginning. Like, nah, I'm a dime right now. Give me dimes. I'm a superstar and I'm sipping on bar. See, I'm a superstar. He's running it. Make sure it happens. What the fuck rapping? Now get your toe tapped. Do what you're doing. Don't pay for the Bruins. In 1920s, I threw the ancient ruins. That part right there, in 1920s, I done three-wheeled through ancient ruins. See, again, that leads me back to believe what I talked about in the other one from, I think, Freeze Dried, about the psychedelic medicine having ties to, like, past lives and history and speaking with ancestry. That could have been an experience he had which gave him motivation. So he's like, nah, in the 1920s, in ancient ruins and even farther in the past, can give you strength to feel like you belong when you really need it. And he probably did. I know I fucking did.
play for the cactus, ball through the atlas. In this game, I don't need no practice. Ball on the slant. I'ma come through with some Gucci made pants. Pants made for quality, made from a panda. I'ma come through on a wood wheel of bandit. I'ma leave it in Grand Canyon, throw it like some dice, throw it like some zebra. I'ma come through and I freestyle my swag on zero. Baker's home hero. I'ma come through and we gon' do the B-roll. See how it's gon' make so it happen. I'ma come through and I continue giving death. Sprayed with a kid. It's from Messazine. I'ma come through. I'ma shoot it by myself.
Again, he's by himself. He probably had to do a lot of shit by himself. He built the whole thing by himself. Like, come on.
So everything doing. I'ma come through, bitch. I'm flipping candy pocket. Blue on the mic, syrup in a Sprite. I don't give a fuck. I'll turn the dike straight. I'ma come through and stay straight. Bitches are.
He must have been dealing with a lot of like bisexual girls and working with them and figuring it out, and you know, that's part of it because they have different dynamics, and maybe he found that at a point was helping him grow and learn.
I know my name on my license plate. The B on 979 is the box. Rick with 2 pop. You know that I don't shoot shots on.
Classic. I love it. All right, I'm not going to go too long here today, but you know, there's a few other songs here I want. Let me just blast out here with what he calls Batman Freestyle, which actually used to be called, I think, Thunderbolt Freestyle. Believe it or not, some years ago when I was looking at this. Like, again, this is all mostly stuff I listened to this like 4 years ago. But I still, man, dig it. This one has 105,000 views. So again, this is a shitload of views, Jody. And some of the comments, my comments right at the top, dope. Says one of the best riff freestyles ever. This is legendary. I wrote that. Yeah, totally. All right, let's check this out.
Once again, this whole freestyle ace, bitch, stop hating. It ain't nothing. I jumped 2 times down to what left. Stay showing Alabama, maybe hit the gram. My freestyle was outstanding. Caught my yellow companion. Bitches looking good. Might molest the wood. 3 whips through the wood with the gat on the hood. I done made my fifth faint. Drank up a tank. Broke the boys off automatic car crank. Hit go bank. Riding on the north side. Got my knees looking good in the priest with the primer, maybe with the can, drunk white, out of drunk stereo. I'm a at the fucking Eisenhower. I'ma go blind, cause I'm my diamonds. Barbecue recline, I'm just 529.
Not as many lessons in this song actually as I thought, but it's still wicked. I still love it.
Baby blue nose, I'm a pop trunk on fucking blue top. Right, hit the car park, ain't no Jeep. Hold up the V, time to hit a lick. Where that bitch mad?
There's one part at the very end that I love. This
try to sign me, dogs try to find me. I done moved the shit and grind all white bands like it's cocaine, and I ain't stalking. Had to change my name from Real Rap to Cocaine Dawkins. I done did it, and I put you in your place. I got more hoes than fucking MySpace.
I got more hoes than MySpace. That's legendary. Okay, I'm actually gonna do one more because that song, while it was cool, didn't really have the lessons in it. Should I just do Party McCarty? Did I not do Party McCarty last time? I can't believe I didn't do that last time. This is possibly the best Jodyhighroller song of all time. In my opinion. Just the greatest. Come on. Come on. The greatest. Party McCarty. I'm gonna interrupt back. I'm gonna come back. Like, it's just legendary. I love it. I love it. Like, again, it's almost like the old school. I hope Jody doesn't mind me giving my comments on all this, but in my opinion, it's like old school, like body rocking, like time constraint. Like, I gotta go, but right before I go, can I just tell you something? And he's like, and he like incorporated that into his whole lifestyle. It's fucking crazy. He's like, I'm gonna go. I'll be back in a minute. I have to go lean on these verses. I have to go make a rap album, but I'll be right back. That's awesome. That's like me coming up and being like, actually, I just need to go like make like a really popular YouTube video where it's gonna get at least 25 views. But I'll come back and talk to you later after I go do this. Party 24/7, yo. He was on a ripper, I'm sure. These songs, this is from 2012. It was like, that's a while ago, you know. That's a few years ago. So, like, yeah. This is like, I love it. Oh. Never worked at Kmart. I love that stuff. It's like, you know, he's separating himself. He's like, I never worked at Kmart. Even if he did, who knows? Or some dumb shit job. Like, just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not a part of that. I'm doing something different. Freestyle doctor. It's like, again, I was relating with this whole way he was just putting his own frame on things. Like, I'm a freestyle doctor. Like, I'm a freestyle scientist. I'm a freestyle fucking dentist. Like, I'm whatever I want to be. Right? I'm whatever I want to be. It's like rejecting rejecting the school system. Which was a big impact on me, was the school system. Always trying to tell me what the fuck, you're stupid, do this, do that. That didn't work for me. And he's saying the same shit. Like, that shit didn't work for me. I don't fucking need you. On my own, I'll tell myself if I'm a fucking doctor or a scientist or whatever. I don't need you. I'm a freestyle fucking doctor. You go be a fucking science doctor over there. It ain't my fault, but ain't the second shot. I could buy a castle from a quarter of my pinky ring. I could buy a castle from the quarter of my pinky ring. And this is like 5 or 6 years ago he was saying that. And it's like, again, it's like he's just got the value right on him undeniably. It's like, hey girl, yeah, that's cool. Anyway, I could clip this diamond off right here, which is like a quarter of my pinky ring, which is not even all my wealth, but I could take a quarter of that. You and I could run away together. I could buy a castle. How does that sound? It's like all of a sudden you're in, you're wrapped in. So it's cool. I'd lose some playtime. I'd lose some playtime if I took this quarter of a pinky ring out. That's true. And if I took you on board and we ran away, it's not a cake. Life's not a cakewalk. That's a possibility we do that. It's real. Make it look simple. Make it look simple. I make the game look simple. Diamonds in my dental, yellow bone with cute dimples. Diamonds in my dental, yellow blue bone with cute dimples. I didn't know up until I listened to Jody. I had to actually Google it. What yellow bone and red bone is. Yeah, apparently it's like mixed girls. Like girls who are like mixed black or even like mixed Latino, I think. But I love it. It actually, I must say, I took a very huge and valuable lesson from Jody when it came to that, you know, and he, I guess, was into that back in the day, and I relate with those dynamics of like, you hammer home wherever you can, right? Any opportunity. It's like nature does that. The water finds a way, it finds a path, and maybe for him, the yellow bones or the red bones saw value in him as he's a white guy. And they were like, hey, here's a white guy, and he's cool, and he's showing us attention. That's cool. Because often, a lot of times, the black guys want the black girls, or the white girls, right? They're obsessed with the white girls. And so in some ways, he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. What are all, like, the black girls doing? Or the mixed girls? You guys are kind of paying attention to the white girls. He's like, well, they're free. Okay, well, how about me? And so maybe he was gaining success like that, and he was just like, good, hammer home on that, right? Let's hammer home. Let's gain up the references. It's crazy. Put you in the atmosphere, my body from the stratosphere. I think I found the antidote. My candy paint is cantaloupe. No, it's not a joke. You probably sit at home being broke. Yeah, this is talking about his cantaloupe paint job and everything. He's like, I'm not joking. This is my life. You're probably at home being broke. And that's what happens. People hate, but they've got nothing on the go. And He's extending and expressing himself to the maximum. Fucking cantaloupe paint, crazy hair, crazy diamonds and shit. And he's like, he's drawing in haters. He's like, okay, you can be a hater, but what are you doing? You're just showing yourself to be just a worthless hater.
Sitting at the computer, pulling out the roof. Touch me one time and I'm pulling out the heater. I ain't talking about the one that keeps you warm either.
Yeah. Touch me one time, pulling out the heater. Ain't talking about the one that makes you warm.
Pulling out the ether from your speakers, backwards down a meter.
Talk about the ether? Damn, the ether? Maybe other rappers do talk about all this stuff. I don't actually even know because I don't really even listen to that much other rap. I don't even really listen to that much other like new music, hardly at all. So I really have no idea. Maybe all this shit that I'm seeing in Jody stuff is common across all songs or all music. I actually don't even really know. Somehow I doubt it, but cool. Ether. The ether is like coming from like the non-physical realm and all that type of shit. So it's pretty deep stuff.
Start my hoop dreams, bars like a China dog, 4 degrees and Adderall, my bodyguard is caviar. Snuggle brain and range, truck, my whole team got up angel dust. Mango question, ducky, rushing, tightly cut my wrangle cut fast on my seminar frame.
That part right there actually is what led me to believe maybe, you know, maybe in the early years, Riff did run a seminar. Maybe he ran a coaching endeavor, you know, and he was like soliciting testimonials from his students. That's what led me to believe that. 5-star your Seminole, Frank. It's possible. And then again, he maybe just cast that aside and was like, it's not worth it. It's not good. Dudes fucking suck. They don't commit. They flake. They don't progress. They give up. He moved on to something else. So it could be.
Sweet South summer pain like $2,000 on my rank. That's just a half shit. You do the math. I show nice to mark price in the cash. Drafted by the Raptors. Watch me mix and master. Echoes on the strap and popping up on you bastards. Spitting unwritten bars. Watch you swing cars. I control a Nicki Minaj. Accidentally can't spray Michael Bars, motherfucker. Yeah, like a stock market. I'm up and down like Procter Gamble.
Again, like the stock market, up and down like Procter Gamble. I can relate with some of that, you know, like being somewhat frantic and hectic within, and your energy's fucking up. And the girls don't give a shit about that. They just sense it's not perfect, it's not right, it's not what I want, it's not 100% fucking Clint Eastwood, fucking Brad Pitt in the movies. I don't like it. You're not what I want, and they want something else. And man, that can be very hard to come to terms with. And he probably was trying to do that. He's like, fuck. Like I'm up and down like fucking Procter Gamble, like the stock market's here. My shit's all over the place. These girls don't care even remotely. How can I fucking live with this? How can I do this? And that's actually like a hidden struggle for men. In fact, is that a lot of people struggle with that, and it's not something that you can. I guess that's where it comes in to have like a very like meaningful and deep connection with the girl possibly in your future. That could be the goal, so that maybe she can accommodate that. But in the early stages, like where I am for the most part, I mean, I guess I'm probably intermediate, but you know, and he probably was too, at least. But for someone who's very much a beginner too on this type of journey, it's so hard because you just constantly see how just the girls don't care at all. Like they don't care even a bit. Any amount that's not right on, they just get out of here. And you can steady your shit after a while, but it takes a long time.
Ready upon the hand scramble hotter than a candle set for all you see is supper jam in my closet. The summer party, drink my party, 3 a.m. Australia made the London bar.
It's too much even to count, man. All this, my slumber party. I got a slumber party, Australian maids. He was probably meeting up with crazy people, and he was just bringing all that into his music. Just whatever he came across, he just have to rattle it off. Australian.
Cold slaw rims like a sharp grenade. Playing stay with David Spade. My neon lights is like a ray. Parmesan and Batcave. Sean Connery catch a mix of Louis Vuitton on bumper stick.
Parmesan and Batcave, yeah. The Batcave. Batman was always a big kind of character. I heard one who may be in some way related with with Jody. I'm not sure back in the day, but Arash Dibazar, who I'm a big fan of, he once I heard him say, one of his students asked him, "Hey, do you ever get lonely, or like, isn't it lonely to be this path, to be on this path, the path of man on his purpose?" Which, if you don't already know, is in fact your only choice. So come to terms with it. He said, well, don't you ever get lonely on this path? And he said, well, does Batman get lonely? Like, is Batman lonely? And you have to think about it. Like, I don't really think. Like, Batman's on his purpose. Batman's a man on his purpose. Very, very clearly and strongly on his purpose. Batman, I don't think, is a lonely man. Because he gains purpose, he gains meaning from his path, his journey, and maybe he took that and was like, "Yo, I'm like Batman. This is my Bat car. He's got all these crazy fucking cantaloupe Benzes and stuff, and my Bat cave. In my Bat cave is the things I want." So those were some of the lessons I was taking from this stuff. I can't. There's just so much in here. Julius Caesar, 3-dimension caterpillar, Julius Caesar meat cleaver. It's hard to know, man. There's a lot going on. I would say definitely there's something to do with the psychedelic realms here. With three, and he was trying to make sense of it. Maybe 3-dimension meat cleavers. Like, what in the fuck is this? Like, that's the best I can come up with. It's just unbelievable. Just classic. Okay. There's a bunch more actually but I'm not gonna do them all. I don't have it in me. If there is more support, I would be willing to do a part 3, and hopefully over time I can, narrow in my focus onto things that I'm into right now. But you know what? There's just one more song I have to do. Because aside from Party McCarty, this was probably the next song. When I started listening to all this was around the time Neon Icon came out. And so I was already like, this is incredible. Like, this stuff's awesome. And then Neon Icon came out. And when I turned on Neon Icon, I shit you not, man. And I heard the first song introducing the icon. And I hadn't even really been that into music for a while. When I was a kid, I was into like Green Day and Nirvana and like punk rock and like The Offspring, and I got into it. I was really into music. Like, I was always listening to Green Day. I was like, punk rock, yeah. And then for many years, I didn't really spend that much time. I listened to here and there, Guns N' Roses. Like, I did like music, and I played guitar and stuff. I did like it. But I didn't really like get like spoken to on a deep level, I suppose. But when I heard this song introducing the icon, it actually reminded me of 1994. I believe it was 1994 when I listened to Green Day Dookie. That was the first album I really ever listened to, and I listened to that fucking album. And I listened to the song Longview. And it like blew my mind. I was like, what? This is incredible punk rock. I'm telling you, I had a similar experience when I listened to Introducing the Icon. I was like, this is unbelievable. Check this out. I love it.
Bro, the Neon Icon album is serious. It finally came out.
I promise this is the last song.
Bro, crank the windows down. I'm about to shades down, bro. Bro, I don't even like rappers. This is damn riff-raff. He's just fucking off the chain. He does damn everything in the book. I mean, Jody, what are we gonna do about it? Bro, did you see Jennifer last night? She was like smoking hot, bro. She had total lip slip. What? Yeah, it's like she doesn't even grow hair on her body. She's just like this tan beauty queen that just came from the Eastern Peninsula, bro. Yeah, wanna know something about my right arm? Out of flex a horse out fire long. The fireplace out of space with a wise bell.
Only 3 stay forever. That's 10%. That there is, I believe, a deep lesson and a ratio of women who you meet and the way that you can gauge. It's like, I think, speaking to the ratio of how they really. Let me just hear that again.
Purple spill, she was grabbing on my song, doing handstands. Hey, Julia Styles, save the last dance. Second glance, 30 birds in a bundle. Only 3 stay forever, that's 10%.
Only 3 stay forever, that's 10%. Okay, so I guess if. Yeah, so that's like 100. I'm not that good at doing up percentages right off the bat, but I mean, like, 3 stay forever, that's 10%. Well, 10% of 100 is 10. Okay, so either way, it's a few.
I can do the math, but I choose to take a nap. Front yard, hovercraft, I'm a Sachi rap. Drive my land, Swedish fans by palm trees. Bitch, I can sing a hook. White tan, big balls don't wait, you shouldn't too. What the fuck a wife do? No wedding shoe.
Okay, really, it was just that part that I even really want to mention. Okay, that was really the whole part. The whole lesson was that part right there. Big balls don't wait. You shouldn't too. What the fuck a white dude? No wedding shoes. So big balls shouldn't. Let me hear it again. Yeah, what big balls don't wait. You shouldn't too. That's like a primary lesson. Like, that is the training. That is the training of like primarily building your game. If you have none, is the idea of big balls don't wait. You're not waiting. There is no waiting. Big balls don't wait. You shouldn't too. You shouldn't. It's like you're on it. Boom, you're up. It's like the 3-second rule. It's like you approach. You just go. Like, hey, what's up? So it's like if you have to build up that consistency within yourself. So if you're sitting one day, I've heard Mystery's partner Discovery talk about this before. If you're sitting one day, and this is deep, like, and we'll end on this part here. So this is deep to really gain a lesson from the masters here. Like Mystery, Discovery, Jody. Big balls don't wait. You shouldn't too. So if you're sitting one day at a cafe and a girl is walking by that you find attractive and it ignites something within you, part of this life is to be able to say, hey, what's up? Like, how are you? Like, I wanted to say hello to you. You're walking by. You had like a spring in your step a bit. Like, you had kind of your hair was like waving. It's just, wow. I wanted to say hello to you. Like how are you? Like, how is your life going? And that's balls, man. You might not think so, but that's a labor that took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours and effort and repetition to build that up. And so you wanna create that, you wanna build that, and that's big balls, man. Over and over and over and over again. Big balls don't wait. Because if you don't do that, if you don't start doing that, you're never going to do it. If you don't start doing that now, in 5 years, when you're sitting at the cafe and that girl walks by, you're not going to do it then, man. You're just not. You're going to wait. And who waits? Guys who don't have big balls and how do girls feel about guys who don't have big balls? They don't feel. They don't feel anything. It's irrelevant. Well, that's not good. We don't want irrelevant. We don't want you to be irrelevant. So, he's telling you, big balls don't wait. You shouldn't too. And the next part, what the fuck a white dude, no wedding shoes. I like that a lot. What the fuck a white dude, no wedding shoes? It's like, you're not just a random chud dude with wedding shoes. Like those dopey loser shoes that your average white dude wears. And he goes to like some dopey office building and he wears these wedding shoes. And they're like, no one should be wearing those. They're at, you buy them at Kmart or Walmart for like $29.99. And the guy's wearing them everywhere. No. We don't want that, right? So it's like to see a white dude without that who's really flossing, it's cool. Let's finish up here. You want a French kiss? I gotta check your French tips. Like I gotta check on what you got going on here. You want me to kiss you? Like what do you? Well, let me just standards, boundaries, key. Hygiene. Let me check. He's breaking down his standards for you. He's breaking down his stipulations of what he wants. Let me check your French tips. Your cleanliness. Let me check that out. I don't know if I want to get involved yet. Electric maid cleans the Jets and Judy big booty. I love it. You can be 18 with some soft hands. Oh shit, look who it is. You can be 18 with some soft hands. He's again back to those vibes. He's like, that's what I want. I want young hot girls. I don't know about the rest. That's not about me. Someone giving me a lecture. Like, I don't need that. Why? Bad bitches, that's an epic fail. Can't do that. Who's that? Who's who? I can ball at the mall. Shoot who's too. I can ball at the mall. Who knows? He was obviously balling early at the mall. Early. Before running game at the mall before they put those signs up at the mall in Toronto. No learning game. But Jody was a pioneer in the game, I think. Bruce Spruce, that's crazy. That was that plane from Howard Hughes. Again, he's with the cleanliness. He likes cleanly girls. Okay. I don't sit on the bench. I'm a player. Waiting on my chance to ball. You're going to fall eventually. And that's the thing. You keep working hard long enough, the other boys will fall. Most people will fall. Most people cannot keep it together. They can't. They're just not going to. Most people are not going to be able to hold their shit together indefinitely or even for a consistent amount of time. The shit will fall apart. They'll become a fucking junkie. They're drunk. They'll get in a shitty relationship. They'll fucking kill themselves. They'll lose all their money. They'll get a gambling problem. They're not going to keep it together. So if you keep your shit together, which is, mind you, easier said than done, of course, wait for them other people to fall, and you'll still be there. Right? And then you can start getting wins, and then more wins. Because once you start winning, you get a shitload of wins. Oh, wait. Hold on. Part I want to hear there. I used to move shit by my counselor's office. Again, it's just the school system's all bullshit. The fucking counselor was probably selling dope. 10 tens. Can you imagine how to pool 10 tens? That's excessive. And he also kind of exaggerates everything, mind you. But even like 2 tens or 3 tens, Jesus fuck, 1 10, most guys would snap in half. The average guy faced with a 10 or a 9 or an 8 or a fucking 7 will snap. They'll just be ruined. They'll fall apart. You don't realize how difficult that is. It's pressure. It takes time to build up the resistance. For a guy to become a 10 is a lot of time and effort. It's years. Unless you're born like fucking Neon Icon here, you're just 10 out the fucking gate. Got a scotch ball. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Boom. Okay, that was it. That's it. That was an hour. I just shot off an hour, firing off about Jody. I love it. Okay. If you guys loved it, hit up another comment. Like, subscribe, and I'll be back. I think this week I'm going to do another interview with Richie Jr. from Scotland. So that should be cool. We'll see what he has to say. All right. Peace out.